Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Quentin, for your kind words. I am the CEO of this institute. It's the institute on or think tank on energy and environment. Today, I'm very happy to be here and discuss energy security. Because energy security is a quite important issue for Japan. It's probably one of the energy poorest country in the world, and perhaps Australia is the energy richest, one of the energy richest countries. So I'm very comfortable to be here. I'm sorry, how can this, okay? What I am trying to talk is three issues. First, the situation in Asia, particularly North Asia, and secondly, recent uncertainties surrounding Asia, particularly North Asia. And the third, how to cope with these uncertainties for corporations. That's what I'm trying to talk about. First, the situation in Asia. I think you know what is happening here. Now the Asia is a center of growth, but which means Asia is a center of energy consumption, and I think most countries, except some developing countries in Africa or Latin America, as well as Middle East, developed countries, the consumption is almost flat. But you see how speedily Asian energy consumption goes up. And this is consumption by country, and in the next 3 decades, the energy consumption in China and India grow quite rapidly, and 41% of energy consumptions for China. And if we add together China, India, Japan, and Korea, it could be about 70% more than that. And this is sort of trying to explain the vulnerability of energy security in Asia. The numbers, I don't know. The numbers in rectangular is showing you the dependence on imports. It goes up. In 2011, it's 69%, but in 2040, it would go up to 81%. If we can succeed in energy conservation, it could be reduced 77%. But still, it's a huge dependence on imports. And when we talk about North Asia, Japan, Korea, China, Japan and Korea are sort of two countries which do not have much energy. Green part is real indigenous energy. If we add up by nuclear portion, it could go up slightly, but still self-sufficiency ratio is very small. And particularly after 3/11, Japanese nuclear reactors are offline, and so even that 6% is gone. And so we have only 5% self-sufficient ratio. And China, still, they have 89% of self-sufficient ratio, but it's going to be eroded. I think even in China, oil import dependence is going up from 62% now up to 73% in 2040. The same thing can be said for gas, and so Korea, Japan, and even China is going to be quite vulnerable in terms of energy security. And then, in what circumstance Japan, Korea, and China are standing? I think there are a lot of uncertainties. There are many uncertainties, but I picked up a few things. First, no doubt about sort of unstable situation in Middle East, where we heavily depend on imports from that regions. I don't have to talk about all 7 uncertain factors, but particularly Arab Spring is going to be spreading, and that would be a quite important issue which might increase uncertainty there. Iraq situation, Iran situation, there are many other issues. And oil price is also uncertain. It goes up before Lehman shock, and it goes down after the shock, but it went up again. And now it stays very high around at the level of $100 per barrel. And we tend to think if the situation in Arab or Middle East is stable, it could be $70 per barrel, but perhaps 20 or 30 dollar barrel risk premium is there, and so it's very high, but it's volatile again. And the third uncertainty is shale revolution. Shale revolution has good aspect and bad aspect from the standpoint of energy security in Asia. The good news is we have more oil reserves or gas reserves. In terms of oil, it could be doubled, and in terms of natural gas, it could be increased by 70%, and so hopefully we would see the price decline gradually, but it wouldn't. It is not happening yet, and rather unfortunate news for Asia is that here is the Asian premium of LNG price, energy trade. Now in US, because of shale revolution, the price of gas is going down up to $3 or $4 per MMBTU. But because Asian LDP, LNG prices, oil index, it went up to 16 or 18 dollar per barrel, and so here is 3 times or 4 times a difference between Japan or Asian LNG price and Henry Hub US price. EU the LNG price is in the middle. And this difference would affect the competitiveness of energy-intensive industry in Asia. And so it's not good news for Asia. And another unfortunate phenomenon is that the U.S. dependence on oil import or gas imports from Middle East is declining. It's good news for the United States, but for Asia, we may fear that U.S. interests in stabilizing Middle East may diminish. When we ask about that to U.S. government, the answer is no. But I think many people are understanding that U.S. General audience, general public may not want to spend more money over the U.S. In Middle East. And this is a sort of mixed news. Shale revolution, because of that, the possible impact on real GDP. U.S. Has a very much positive impact, clearly, because they are succeeding in having more and oil and gas. But traditional producers, Middle East or Russia, they may have adverse effect. And generally speaking, importing countries have a favorable effect because the price may go down. But we cannot be quite happy about this situation, because if the Middle East would be destabilized because of this effect, it might not be good for Japan. So it's very much a mixed picture. And the last one, the fourth uncertainty is clearly about nuclear safety. It was quite unfortunate that Japan had an accident, and after that, this is the public board showing how many people are pro-nuclear and how many people are against the nuclear. After the 3/11 accident in Japan, clearly in Japan, more people are against nuclear than supporting nuclear. And Germany, it's surprising, even before 3/11, the majority is opposing to nuclear. Well, fortunately, unfortunately, in major nuclear countries, the supporting ratio diminished, but still the number of supporting people is larger than opposing people in those economies. And how we can ensure energy security in Asia in those under those uncertainties. Asia, particularly North Asia, are quite vulnerable in terms of energy security, and how there are more increasing uncertainties surrounding Asia, particularly Northeast Asia. I would say it's not a competition among North Asian countries. It's going to be cooperation. And then what sort of cooperation agenda are here? One, I've raised at least four agendas. First, it's energy conservation. This is indicating that the difference of energy intensity between Japan, Korea, and China. That's a yellow bar showing those three countries. And clearly, Japanese energy intensity is better than other two countries. And why we don't share those technology with those countries? And if we can reduce the energy conservation, energy consumption, and then we could have a mutual benefit. And so this is clearly one important cooperation. But unfortunately, we had been having a sort of cooperative forum between China and Japan, but last year, because of political problem, we didn't have such a cooperative forum. We should restart that forum. How we can do that? Clearly, I hope political leaders can find solution on this sort of issue. And the second cooperative agenda is sort of emerging response arrangement. All of us know IEA is functioning in that way. They have emergency response measures, but it doesn't cover all Asia. And now APEC is providing another scheme, APEC oil and natural gas security exercise. I think in order to cover Asia, including China and other Asian countries, we have to strengthen this APEC method in order to deal with emergency problem. And last year, we had a sort of IEA-like exercise in Thailand and Indonesia. We could do that in other countries as well. And the third issue is to eliminate Asian premium. I understand that producing countries like Australia, you may want to keep prices of LNG to export at high level, but from the standpoint of importing countries, it is not welcome. And so we have to find a solution. And I don't go into details, but we have to find a solution, mutually beneficial solution, how we can do that. That's another agenda. And we may have sort of pipeline networking in whole Asia, China, Japan, and Korea, and also connecting with ASEAN countries. The fourth agenda for cooperation is nuclear safety. You see the increase in nuclear energy in the next 3 decades, but the increase in red portion, red area is Asia. And China, India, Korea, and Vietnam, and perhaps some other ASEAN countries. And if incident or accident occurs, we would affect each other. It's a really a great pity that we would affect adversely Korea and China, but we shouldn't repeat that. And then, why not taking lessons from Fukushima and sharing our lessons with Asian countries? And this is a sort of networking or framework for sharing lessons from Fukushima. I don't have much time, and so I don't want to go into details, but in cooperation with IAEA, we need some cooperative framework covering Korea, China, and other Asian countries. And so it's more cooperation rather than competition. And let me conclude by saying 4 things. First, as I said, Asia is the center of growth, but it means Asia is the center of energy consumption. And the surrounding landscape surrounding North Asia is full of uncertainty. And 3, energy security in North Asia is getting more vulnerable because of the uncertainty, because of the increase in consumption. And the important thing is cooperation or cooperative framework. Energy conservation, we could have more energy independence, emergency response arrangement, helping each other among countries with similar problems, and elimination of Asian premium for LNG trade, cheaper and cleaner fuel, and 4th, ensuring nuclear safety, safer North Asia, safer Asia. And by doing that, we could mutually help each other from the standpoint of energy security. Now, I had better stop here and give more time to other panelists. Thank you very much.